everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lydia here with your full supermoon reading in Aries for October 17th, 2024. And holy smokes, have we been having some pretty intense solar activity, have we not? Boy, we're seeing loads, shall we say, of the northern lights reaching the far south parts of the US, maybe sometimes even reaching Mexico. You know what happens there? When the solar energies come in, we are getting an upgrade. And if it is intensifying, especially with the solar energies going towards a solar maximum, we are now getting so many upgrades in our DNA. It is unbelievable, remarkable, shall we say. Having said that, Aries is the sign that begins the zodiac signs. So basically, we are starting at the very beginning of our full moons. So it's going to get intense. Every full moon, for those who are sensitive, is going to become more and more intense. And when I say it that way, it doesn't mean that it's going to have crazy, physical sensical kind of sensations. It might just be more so that you are heightened in your senses, heightened in your metaphysical senses. So this is a beautiful time, actually. This beginning is very it's cool. It's cool. It's at this time we're getting a shift in our perspectives. We're getting the opportunities to let go of things that we no longer need in our lives. When I say we're upgrading, it's not just biologically, genetically, it is also physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So we have this opportunity to make a completely new life. And that also allows us to see, how we've talked about the fifth dimension being heaven on earth, or whatever dimension it is. It's an energetic vibrational status. That's what it is that we are moving into. And with it, think about it. What do you want in your world? What do you want to see as the heaven on earth? This is the opportunity now to start to think about that. This is the opportunity to be able to use your manifestation powers to its heightened state. And that is, allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to take those dreams and put them on paper. And especially in a full moon and a super moon at that, we are in a heightened state. The energies are very high. Plus we're in October, here in the November, or November's coming up, sorry. But what I meant to say is October, we're getting closer to the end of our, I guess, the opening of the veil, as they want to call it. It's getting thinner and thinner. When we talk about Halloween, I look at that as more. There's more to it than that. There's a lot of things that we don't really know about our history as per se, and we're going to have more clarity as the months progress, as we go towards Christmas in December, and then further into the new year. We're looking at take all the holidays aside and look at the vibrational status. Where we are at this particular time, we're in a flow towards the thinning of the veil. And it's not just in October, it just starts around now, even that much more. There's a higher sensing of what's out there. The air is almost heavier, but it's not necessarily heavy with everything that's going on in the global arena. It's actually just this perspective of feeling something is about to happen. And whether it is, there's lots of talk, as you know, there's lots of talk of many different things that could be happening, whether it's talks of war, talks of shortages, talks of devastating weather and climate stuff. I don't want to say change because I don't like those two words together. It just happens. So the situations look dire, but this is the perfect time to exercise your metaphysical, energetic abilities to change what is out there. And it starts within. So this is the beginning of a totally different way of using your manifestation powers. And with that, we're actually going to be using the card deck that I created called Take Back Your Power, which does deal with taking back that metaphysical, energetic power within you. We're using this deck as well as the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. So we're doing an interchange of each one. We're going to start with mine and then the other. We have 4 cards to go. I've picked the cards, but I haven't actually looked at them. And we're going to take a look to see how we can make things happen. How can we change things? Number one, before I pick the first card and show you, what I want you to do is think about ceremonies that you can do, little things that you can write, like write something down in your journal or a piece of paper or whatever. Say affirmations on your full and new moons or any celestial event that actually allows you to do something to change things up. Do a meditation so that you are sending love and light into the world and making it so that wherever in the world that you know is having the greatest difficulty, share a little bit more light and love in that area, but shed it to the entire world because we all need it. The more you do that, the more you think about it, the more you intend that energy to go out, the more healing is going to be said within the world. Trust me, the energies that we can give out is way more than what we think we have been told that we can do. So anyways, having said that, let's look at the very first card, which is from the Take Back Your Power guidance card book. And we're looking at childhood. This, I believe, so a lot of our childhoods don't necessarily coincide or align with something that's very positive. But then there's also some major beautiful times in our childhood that we can actually look back upon. And what this is actually saying is now is the time to actually be as a child. Go back into this new state. Look at everything around you like it was brand spanking new, that you were just exposed to it. And it's also triggering that part of the clarity that we're going to be getting within this time period. So I'd say probably within the 4 to 6 months that we have anything that you've had questions about, whether it's within your life or in the global arena or history or humanity, we're going to start to have this innate quality of clarity that we're going to be getting. And that's from the upgrades that we're getting. Plus, our wisdom is starting to come out. We are getting higher in our vibrational consciousness. And that said, we're going to start to bring this wisdom out with us. Now, being a child or doing some inner child work, what does that mean? This means possibly going into visualization and or meditation. Because a lot of people have actually kind of wondered, what is inner child work? Well, when you think about your childhood, if you've had traumatic or drama in your life, or hurt and a lot of pain, or even challenges, so physical challenges, you can go back within yourself and actually talk with that child. And that is what inner child work is doing. Every last person can do this on their own individually. However, you might need someone to help you with that as well. So an energy worker or a hypnotherapist or someone who specializes in childhood trauma that would be more metaphysically inclined. So in other words, not just the medical grade type of profession. And that is hard to find, but you can find them because look at their description. This can help you to bring about any of those energies that are still stuck or blocked from the past. Bring it up and let it go. This is the perfect time to do it. The full moon and a supermoon. This is an intense time period to let go of childhood trauma. And it's also intensely nudging us into going in and actually giving some gratitude to our inner child, that part of us that is so brand new, that is so into the present, into the fun qualities that we can exist or we can play with, shall we say. Playing in general actually would be great too. As an adult, oh my gosh, I don't think we remember how to play. Like, unless you have children, young children, even then sometimes it is hard to actually remember how to play. But playing changes as you grow older as well. But in this case, we were talking about Lego the other day. my husband and myself. We're talking about Lego and thinking, I never had a Lego set when I was a kid. He did. I had some other things. We're talking about trains and like beautiful model trains and things like this. When you look at the toys that are out there, or even just taking a whole pile of leaves, because right now it's autumn. So you take a whole pile of leaves, put it into one place, and go and jump in them. I mean, do something that is fun, that makes you laugh. That is the part of childhood that we miss as adults. And that's what this is really urging us to do. This is a great time to do it. We're going to go into the next card here, the Starseed Oracle. And it is karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. Okay, so karmic relationships. And now this is again a perfect time to let go of anything that we've had in the past. The past is the past. You know, as humans, yes, we do have access to time travel, but in this case, this is about the time travel that we have when we do our dreams, when we do any letting go and forgiving, and going back to the incident that occurred and just saying, okay, I'm forgiving this. And this is I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ho'oponopono, which is it's an energy healing technique that was originated in Hawaii, and it has several things that actually really, really help when you start to say them. And it's a phrase or a group of phrases, and that is, I'm sorry. And you know what? It's hard for me to actually say them all in the same. I've said them to myself, and basically, I can't remember how they go, but I believe it is, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And when you say that as an affirmation over and over and over, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Something, whatever I said. It doesn't, the order, I don't think actually matters as much as those intended words and phrase in that phrase that actually gets you to this point of letting things go. I did this just recently, so I'm saying it and I'm coming by it very honestly. We're going to actually look at the karmic relationships just to see what in here. I'll just read a little bit about it and see where we're at with regards to how this relates to, well, Orion energy and so forth. The constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and our mind and see things from a different point of view. And that is absolutely what we are allowed ourselves to do at this time. Different point of view and perspective. When we go into react to second guessing mode, instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. Now, this is interesting too, just because when we react, if we react to something that someone has done or in a communicative effort with somebody else, now what we're doing is we can create blockages. At that particular time, we could be defensive, we could be angry, and that anger is coming out in that conversation, and it is not helping it matters any. It puts a rift or an energetic rift between you and the other person. So what you want to do is actually take a step back and just kind of look at the whole situation. If the person is reacting to you, why? Ask yourself, ask them, why? And be able to piece apart, like destructuralize the entire conversation at that point and just say, hey, you know what? This person might be reacting to something I said. Am I sending this out in an intended way? Or is there something that I really have to look at? Or vice versa, is that person going through something right now that I just happen to be in that, in that area that they're actually just reacting to? So little things to think about. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. Isn't that true? A lot of times when reactions happen, we do take things personally. I'm just as bad in that situation too. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. And it's true. Anytime we've had any situations in the past where it's been very challenging for us, or we've been hurt, or we've felt manipulated somehow, then if we are to look at that situation and the emotions that go with that situation, we have this capability of turning things around, especially when we take a higher perspective, a higher point of view. How can you soften your heart or drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? Now, this is something very key for this particular time. If we have any relationships or any karmic situations or energies that we need to let go of, this is the time. We need to try our best to deal with our shadow sides, to deal with the past, because as we move forward, if we're going into a higher vibration of being, there is no room for that kind of thought patterns. There is no room for getting angry or jumping at the moment's notice when somebody is either confronting us or giving us strange information. At this time, if somebody's angry and they're throwing some insults at you, well, yeah, that's take your personal boundaries there and basically not to react, but try as hard as you can to be to respond with couth, to be to maintain that understanding, and at the same time be mindful of letting go of any reactive material that would come out of your mouth. So it takes a lot of thinking, but we could do it in a split second. So just saying that everything that I've said, we can do that in a split second before we respond to somebody else. That also allows for balance and harmonic relationships, just to say. So we're going to go on to the third card here, and that is with my deck as well, honesty. So this is not only just being honest with other people, but this is being honest with yourself. And as you are honest, here, if you see in this picture, there is a picture frame, or a mirror frame. And in the inside, we've got the elephant, which is a symbol of wisdom. So honesty can basically go through the generations, through your generations and all your incarnations, building wisdom. If you are honest with yourself, honest in truth with yourself, honest about your life. When you are living an honest life, it means that you are true to yourself. Anything that you do or say, so your actions and your whatever it is that you're saying or thinking, is for the good of the collective, the good for everyone else, and also, of course, the good of yourself. You always keep in mind, your family, and whoever you consider family. It doesn't have to be blood relations. The family around you, you're always thinking about them. But this is also saying, think in terms of having that truth be you, walking that path, talking the talk, walking the walk of truth. Everything that you say, rather than, obviously saying a lie or telling a lie is not honesty. So this is not just about that, but it's also allowing yourself to have the divine energy that you are just run through your veins. Be good, do good. Be kind, gentle, compassionate to others and to yourself. When you have to, you know that you need self-care. Take the time for yourself as well, because you are the vessel, basically. You are the vessel for divine energy. And whatever you do or say to others or to yourself, you're going to feel it one way or another. It's the way that we are in this realm. We're basically here to feel, see, act, think of the emotional energy that, or utilizing the emotional energy that we have with us. And that allows us to take the route of compassion or question what's going on. So be honest with yourself. Know that that is also coming up as part of karmic relationships. Be honest with yourself within a relationship as well. Is this a beneficial situation, or do you need to let it go? Is the relationships in the past, like the past thought patterns and situations that you've gone through that have led to drama or anger, resentment, whatever that is it worth it to actually think about them and ruminate upon them? Especially those incidences where you have felt guilt or shame. And I'm saying this, coming by it very honestly, because I've had to deal with that recently as well. When you feel guilty, that is one of the lowest energies that you can actually think about as well. That is not something that you need to have ruminating upon your head, in your head, thinking that's who I am. Because what it does is it really clouds your heart, and that doesn't help at all. It was in the past. Let it go. So let's move on to the last card. They all have something to do with each other. So as it is, we're telling a story. The last one is lifting the veil. What did I say about October? Questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Now, lifting the veil is also about truth and about honesty. It is basically saying anything that is untruth out there in the world is being revealed. And we are seeing it. We are the ones who are actually helping for that to occur. Excuse me. So what lifting the veil allows you to do is to recognize that there are dishonest belief systems, dishonest people out there as well that that you just need to discern. Plus, taking the information that you see, whether it's on media, social media, on billboards, what you read, whatever, or somebody tells you, whatever that is, discern it to see, does it resonate with you? Question it. If it sounds like it's a little bit too off the cuff, then question it and do your own research. That's kind of it's a given. But in the past, we have basically learned not to question things. And that is not good. That actually puts us in a dishonest situation, and we don't live by our truth. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's something that makes sense, that I'm aligning to. The anything unaligned must go. If something doesn't resonate with you, then what you need to, and the more you do research, you still recognize that it's not aligning with your intuition and what you know to be true, or what kind of feels true to you, then let it go or walk away. That is definitely something that is probably not true in general. So, and there's a lot to be said. I'm kind of saying this without saying things, and that's just because I don't want to be banned on YouTube either. So anyways, having said that, lifting the veil is taking the fog off of us as well, and becoming more clear. How do you feel when you are in meditation and in communication with spirit? Does that feel like it aligns with you 100%? I think because we have an innate way of doing that, then yeah, it definitely does. And when you have questions, go and ask spirit. Go within, ask spirit, is this truth? Do I have to do something different? Is this person aligned with my where I'm going, my vibrational sense right now? And that'll help you in determining what path you're going to be going down. It's a lot to think about, but let's go through this and see the story here. We have childhood. The childhood within us, the what we've had in our childhood, kind of makes us who we are. And just to say a little bit more about that, if you've had a traumatic childhood, which has brought in energetic blockages, that's why it is very, very important right now to start seeing things from a different perspective. Let go of that past, no matter what it was, no matter how hurtful, painful, or how difficult, challenging anything has been in your childhood. You need to let that go, because that at this point it has happened, it is done. You need to just move away from that, because it will take you down, and that is something that you don't want. Going on to the next, the karmic relationships, which also has something to do with the childhood. If it turns out that any relationships that you've had in the past, or any situations you've had in the past, has a bad taste in your mouth, that is something else you have to let go. This is about letting go. The full moon is about letting go. So this is something to be brought up so that you can let it go. Little bits and pieces that might still be there, blocking the energy flow from the divine energy from spirit. Talk to spirit, meditate, let yourself move forward from this, and to also realize that anything that has happened in the past, any karmic relationships, have been for your growth, your soul growth. Okay? Then we go into honesty, and that is being honest and truthful within our lives to get past all of this, to get past the karmic interlays, or the relationships from past incarnations, as well as getting past anything that could have caused any formations of blockages in our childhood. Being honest with ourselves as we move forward, and being truthful about our lives, truthful to other people's, truthful to ourselves about where we are in our relationships, our career, our love, our health, everything that we possibly can do to help, whether it's an action or a thought pattern, or something that we have to say, or seeking help from someone who can help us to live that honest life. This is the time to do it. And then last, lifting the veil. We've got questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. So at this particular time, there's only just a little bit of wiggle room that is left for us to align to the type of people that we really are or want to be. What do you want to see in the heaven on earth time period? What do we want to see? And whether or not that's going to happen is a different story. Like, I don't really know. All I'm saying is that, what do you want to see in your reality? Because we create our reality so that we can go through whatever relationships and deal with the karma, and then move forward in our soul advancement, our evolution. That's why we create our living reality. When we lift the veil, what we're doing is we're making things align as whatever it is that has to resonate with what we are doing. What that means, and it could also be basically letting go, surrendering of energy that you don't need anymore, surrendering of relationships that you have actually concluded. So it's, somebody comes into your life for a reason or a season, and basically you need to let them go at this time, because the job or the purpose is completed. Simple as that. Lifting the veil from what is around you as well. Discern everything that you see. Ask questions. This is the time to be a research nut. Just go for it, because this is where we're heading. We're heading towards a state of compassionate, loving, aligning with spirit type of energetic vibration. And there's no room for anything that you have experienced that creates the duality, that creates disharmonic relationships with other people. This is where we have the capability of moving forward. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take on, and we have a bit to go. As a collective, we have a bit to go. But now's the time to start. And with that, align your mind with everything that you want to see happen, in the positive. Thinking compassionately, thinking about kindness and gentleness around the world, including to yourself, because we have this way of sometimes self-talk. Our self-talk can be very vile and detrimental to our health. So talk to yourself in a very honest and very truthful way that allows you to move forward as not only a soul, but as a human. So I hope this helps. I hope that this gives you a little bit of clarity for the full moon. It is big, and we have a lot of celestial alignments that are coming up that also play in this whole length of time and alignment to the higher energetic vibration that we're going into. So I hope that if you have any questions or whatever too, please put them in the comments. I would love to hear anything from you guys. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it, and like it if you do. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I would encourage you to also go to my takebackyourpower.live website, so takebackyourpower.live, to sign up to my free weekly newsletter where I have channeling and a card reading for the following week, and it'll help you along your way. Thanks again. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.